Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining to this new order session. And today's objective will be cover the present perfect continuous. And as we have previous see on the session, we already know what the present perfect is, right? So can someone tell me what is the present perfect, or what does this present perfect express? What does the present perfect express? Is it the present, the past, the future? What does the present perfect express?
The past?
Past, right? It expresses an action in the past, right? But we have already said that the present perfect doesn't care about when that action happened. It just, the importance is just that the action had happened, right? So we use, to build the present perfect, we use the auxiliary have, present, and we use the past participle of the main verb, right? And we don't care when the action happened, but we know the action happened in the past, and it's important to mention it, okay? So the present perfect continuous, it is for actions that has started in the past, but are still ongoing in the present, okay? Son acciones que iniciaron en el pasado, just as the present perfect, but are still valid in the present, pero aún continúan siendo válidas en el presente. To form the present perfect continuous, we use the auxiliary have in present plus the past participle of the verb be plus the verb ing, okay, or the main verb in ing. For example, when we use the third person, we use the verb has, the auxiliary has, plus the verb been, plus the main verb, which is in this case is study. Okay. On the rest of the persons, we use the auxiliary have, plus been, plus in this case the main verb, which is taking. Okay. So we use this formula to build the present perfect continuous. The auxiliary have in present, the past participle of the verb be, which is being, plus the main verb on ing. Okay. On affirmative sentences, we use, as mentioned, the formula. Okay. For example, I have been waiting for 30 minutes. Okay. Another example, he has been teaching this class for the past 3 years. Another one, it says, we have been watching this TV show for hours. Okay, so I would like you to give me an example, a couple of examples using the present perfect continuous and using this formula as an affirmative sentence. Vamos haciendo unos ejemplos. Me gustaría que ustedes utilizaran la fórmula en afirmativos para hacer un presente perfecto continuo, que son este tiempo que inició en el pasado, pero que aún es válido en el presente. Como el ejemplo que tenemos aquí, yo he estado esperando por 30 minutos, ¿no? Entonces, empecé a esperar hace 30 minutos y aún continúo esperando, ¿ok? En el segundo ejemplo, él ha estado pues enseñando esta clase por los pasados 3 años y aún sigue enseñando la misma clase. ¿Sí? O hemos estado viendo este programa de televisión por horas. Empezamos hace horas a verlo y aún continuamos viendo este programa de televisión. ¿Sí? So, volunteers to give me an example, just one example.
She has been playing the piano.
He has been playing the piano. Okay, good, excellent. Another one.
He has been sleeping.
He has been sleeping. Very good. So he started sleeping a few hours ago and he is still sleeping, right? He's still on bed. Very good. So I think we got the affirmative sentence. The negative sentence, which is pretty much similar, we just have to have the negative word, which is not, right? Like, I had not been drinking wine. He hasn't been playing video games, and we actually use the contraction. And we have, okay, Stefano says, you have been playing we have been playing that video game for the last 2 hours. Excellent, Stefano, very good. And we have this other example using the negative, which is, he hasn't been playing video games. And next one, it says, we haven't been studying English. Okay, so as we can see, it is pretty much similar as the affirmative, but we just need to add the negative word. Okay, and finally, the interrogative sentences, which start always with the auxiliary at the beginning. Remember that whenever we have or whenever we want to build a question or an interrogative sentence, it is necessary or it's mandatory to begin with a question word or with auxiliary, right? In this case, as we are using the auxiliary have, we have to start the sentence with the auxiliary, right? So in this case will be auxiliary have plus the subject plus the verb be in past participle, which is been, and finally the main verb with ing ending, right? For example, have they been talking for a long time? And I'm missing the question mark, right? And another example, have you been waiting too long? Okay, and we can see that we are using the auxiliary, we are using the past participle of the verb be, which is being, and the verb on ing, right? So let's try to make a couple of examples using an interrogative sentence with the present perfect continuous. Who can do it?
Have you been drive to 3 miles?
Have you been trained to what? I'm sorry?
Drive 3 miles.
Trip?
Three. Tres.
Three? Tres? Like three? Have you been three what?
Yes.
Could you repeat all over again?
Okay. Have you been driving for 3 meals?
Okay, excellent. Have you been driving for 3 miles? Very good. Excellent. Very good, Alan. Another one. Another one. Come on, try to build an example using or better say using the present perfect as an interrogative sentence. We have one chat. It says, Paul, has she been dancing all night? Very good. In this case, he's using a third person, so he's making a concordance with the third person using the has, right? Miriam says, have I been studying enough for the exam? Ooh, that's a good one. I hope you have. Good, okay, that's enough, good enough. So I think we have already understand how the present perfect continuous its use. So let's try to use, let's try to continue. We use the present perfect for action that has started in the past, but still valid on ongoing present, in the present, right? Since we talk of an activity that we have been doing for a period, we use preposition of time for and since, ¿okay? En este caso, cuando nosotros utilizamos el presente perfecto continuo, normalmente lo enmarcamos en el tiempo con las preposiciones por y desde, ¿ok? Recuerdan cuando utilizamos el presente perfecto que también utilizamos las preposiciones por y desde. Well, in this case, it is as well, okay? John has been working at the bank since 2003. We have been planning our vacation for a month, okay? And on the examples that we have, it says Miriam, it says, it was Stefano that was saying on the first sentence, you have been playing that video game for the last 2 hours, okay? So he's been using the preposition for, okay? But also we can use the preposition since, because we know when the action start to happen. Utilizamos estas dos preposiciones porque sabemos cuándo la acción empezó a realizarse, mas no sabemos cuándo va a terminar, okay? So in this case, nosotros decimos por 3 meses, o desde el 2003, ¿no? Entonces sabemos cuándo la acción empezó, pero no sabemos cuándo la acción va a terminar, porque la acción is still valid in the present, okay? So we use these two prepositions just to frame it on a time, on a period, right? Whenever we don't use a period, cuando no utilizamos o no lo vamos a enmarcar en un tiempo, that means lately or recently, okay? Nosotros también podemos utilizar el recently or lately. For example, have you been feeling okay lately? Okay. ¿Te has sentido bien como últimamente? O sea, desde antes, o cuando no queremos dar una fecha exacta, o cuando no nos queremos referir o no nos referimos a un tiempo exacto de cuándo empezó la acción. Solamente decimos vagamente, sabemos que pudo haber empezado en el pasado, pero que puede seguir siendo válida hasta ahora. We can use lately or recently. Okay? In this case, have you been feeling okay lately? Another example, he hasn't been studying enough. Okay? And it means recently, right? O sea, recientemente no ha estado estudiando lo suficiente. Another example could be, I've been working too much. And we already know, or we imply that it's been recently or lately, okay? I've been working too much. He estado trabajando mucho. O sea, sabemos, o si lo digo, ustedes automáticamente ni siquiera tienen que esforzarse en pensar que me refiero a que últimamente he estado trabajando mucho, ¿okay? No necesariamente que empezó hace 10 años y todavía sigue siendo válida, simplemente que él ha estado trabajando desde hace un par de días y que aún sigue siendo válido el que ha estado trabajando pues mucho, right? So let's try to complete this sentence. Complete with the correct form of the verb, okay? So who wants to go for the first one, which is Steve? And let's try to articulate, let's try to say it aloud, the complete sentence, please. So who wants to go for the first one? Steve, and we have to use a negative and the verb, it is practice.
Teacher, I have a question. When you use has, is plural or singular?
Oh, when we use has. Who can answer that?
Yo. Me, Alan.
Okay, Alan. No, pero ¿quién lo puede responder?
Entendí que
Alan asks, when do we use has or have? And it's a good question, though. So who knows the difference, or when do we have to use the have or has? It's kind of easy to know. Es más o menos fácil saber. Okay, we use, and I'm going to go back to the first slide. Okay, here we have it. In the first slide, it says, to form the present perfect continuous, we use the auxiliary have, okay? O sea, el auxiliar have, ¿sí? In present, okay? Ok, utilizamos el auxiliar have en presente. Entonces, cuando nosotros tenemos estas personas, el I, el you, el they y el we, utilizamos el have. Y cuando tenemos las terceras personas, ¿sí? Utilizamos el has. ¿Ok? Entonces, como que decir plurales o singulares no sería como lo más correcto posible, porque utilizamos el have teniendo el we, que es nosotros, o sería un plural, el they, que sería un plural, el you, que podría ser plural o singular, de ustedes o tú, y el yo, ¿ok? Entonces, más bien los vamos a guiar por las terceras personas, que son el he, el she y el it. Tienen que ir con el has, ¿ok? Igual si tenemos el auxiliar do, lo vamos a dividir en las mismas personas. Las terceras personas, que son el he, el she y el it, cambia el do por el does. ¿Ok? Y para el resto de las personas, que son I, you, they, we, seguimos manteniendo el do. ¿Ok? Y para cuando hablamos en presente, ¿sí? Todos los verbos en presente, déjenme escribirlo así bien, los verbos en presente, igual vamos a tener dos opciones. Para las personas I, you, they y we, permanece el verbo normal. Y para las personas, las terceras personas, el he, el she y el it, les vamos a agregar la S. ¿Ok? Y vamos a poder decir a lo mejor que son los superhéroes. Bueno, yo sí me lo aprendí en su momento. Son los superhéroes. Los superhéroes es el he, el she y el it. ¿Ok? Y a todos ellos, a ellos tres, siempre los verbos en presente van a ir con la terminación en S. Por ejemplo, talk. ¿Ok? Si hablamos del verbo hablar, talk, para los superhéroes, lo vamos a poner como talks. ¿Ok? Para el resto, que no son superhéroes, los vamos a dejar igual, talk. Para el verbo dance, por ejemplo, she danced. ¿Ok? She danced, or he dances, or it dances. ¿Ok? Todos los verbos, perdón, todos los verbos en presente, cuando utilizamos una tercera persona, decimos que hacemos la concordancia. Y a la hora que nosotros hablamos de la concordancia, estamos refiriéndonos a la S. ¿Ok? O al cambio del have por el has. O al cambio del do por el does. ¿Ok? Entonces, siempre cuando les menciono, tienes que hacer una concordancia. O cuando alguien nos dice, haz la concordancia con la persona, we're trying to say that pay attention to the subject. Pay attention to who is talking or who we are talking about. If we are talking of a third person, if we are talking of a he, if we are talking of a she, if we are talking of an it, we have to make the concordance, which is change the auxiliary to the correct form, which could be has, or could be does, or could be the verb ending in S. For example, talks, dances, studies, etc. Right? So, is it clear, more or less? ¿Quedó más o menos claro? de cuando utilizamos el have y el has, o el do y el does.
Yes.
Yes, o más o menos. We can say más o menos.
I need practice, but yes.
Okay, we need a little bit of practice. I'm agree on that. Estoy de acuerdo con eso. Okay, so let's continue to our exercise. Let's go back to our exercise. So let's try to answer this. Let's try to form or build the complete sentence. And the first example, we are talking about Steve, which is a superhero. It's a he, and we have to use as a negative using the verb practice. So what would it be the complete sentence? Please say it aloud.
Steve hasn't practiced enough lately.
Very good. Steve has not or hasn't been practicing. Okay, we have to, since we are talking about the present perfect continuous, we have to use the verb be in past participle, which is being, and the ending, which is ing. Okay, so it was quite good. Very good. So next one seems to be a question. Okay, the next one is a question, and we have to use the verb play.
Have you been playing guitar much recently?
Have you been playing guitar much recently? Very good. Have you been playing, right? Have you been playing? Don't forget about the ing. Good, excellent. So next one, a very good use of the have. Excellent. Next one, it says it's another question, and this question starts with what? We are talking about a they, and the main verb is doing or do. So what would be the question?
What have they been doing lately?
Very good. What have they been doing lately? Excellent. Next one, it says, sorry, I'm late. And we have a question, we have to use the verb wait.
Have you waiting too long?
I'm sorry?
Have you waiting? Oh, have you been waiting too long?
Very good. I'm sorry, I'm late. Have you been waiting too long? Excellent, excellent. Don't forget that we have to use the verb be. The verb to be in past participle, which is being, okay? So have you been waiting too long? Very good, excellent. So let's go with another exercise. And this is difficult. Let's try to make in the chat, and let's try to write the words in the correct order, okay? So who wants to go for the first one? Remember that when we have the third person or the supers, the superheroes, we use has, the third, oh, ¿qué estoy haciendo? The third, we use the has, okay? So let's try to build the correct sentence or the words in the correct order. And the first one says, studying hours we been 4, 5 and a half. So what would the sentence would be? Any volunteer?
We have been for no, We have been studying for 5 hours.
We have been studying for 5 hours. Very good, excellent. Very good, Alan. So next one, it's a question. So let's try to build it in the correct order. The words are long you have living been here in the question mark.
Have you been living here long?
Very good. Have you been living here long? Very good, excellent. So next one.
Teacher,
No.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What is the difference long here and here long?
Usually, we usually state at the end. Normalmente ponemos al final el tiempo, ¿ok? Por ejemplo, cuando decimos since 2003, es generalmente al final. For 3 hours, al final, ¿ok? So we usually state the time at the end. In this case, we said here long, porque long, como nos expresa el tiempo siempre lo ponemos al final. So that's why. So next one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So next one. It says lately TV have been much day to and watching. So let's try to build this sentence.
They have been. A ver, otra vez. They have been watching TV too lately.
And what about the match?
El much, sí, cierto. They have been watching TV too much.
And what about the lately?
Okay, they have been watching TV lately too much.
You were almost right on the second try. Casi estabas perfecto en el segundo intento, but you were just missing at the end the word lately, okay? So they have been watching too much TV or TV too much lately, okay? So they have been watching too much TV lately. Very good. Excellent, Stefano. So next one, it's a question, and we have the question mark. We have my, why, being, you, jacket, wearing, and have. So what would the question be?
Why have you wearing my jacket? Why
Why?
have you been wearing my jacket?
Very good. Why have you been wearing my jacket? Excellent. Ay, ya no pinta. Bueno, no importa. We have a chat and says, why have you been wearing my jacket? Very good, Alberto. Excellent. So next one, number 5, 7 a.m. Working, I since and have.
I have working since 7 a.m.
Very good. We say since, right? I have, but we're missing the being. Aquí me hizo falta poner el being. Y dice aquí, I have working since 7 a.m., which is correct. But I miss the verb be on past participle, right? So I'm missing the verb be. It should be, I have been working since 7 a.m. But pretty good. Number 6, days being straight, it has raining 4 and 3. Wow, this is long.
It has raining straight for 3 days.
It has been.
It has been, yes, sorry. It has been raining straight for 3 days.
Almost, but okay, just let me stop sharing because I cannot write, no me deja pintar. Y déjame dejar compartir un segundo. Okay, again, here we go. Share, okay. Almost, but yes, it has been raining for 3 days straight. Okay, what does it mean straight? I mean, it has several meanings, but what does it mean in straight? What does it mean in straight? Oh, come on. You don't know what the...
Como seguidos, ¿no?
Exactly. En este caso es seguido, ¿no? Tenemos como diferentes significados para straight, que es, por ejemplo, derecho, ¿no? Cuando una persona también es heterosexual, we say straight, ¿no? Y en este caso, podemos decir por 3 días seguidos. Okay, so we say for 3 days straight. For 3 days straight. Por 3 días seguidos. It can also be for 3 straight days. Por 3 seguidos días. Okay, so we can have both options. 3 straight days or 3 days straight. Okay, good, very good. Number 7, enough this studying, he hasn't days and been. What would that be?
He hasn't been studying enough these days?
Very good. He hasn't been studying enough these days. Very good. Number 8. It says, much you, oh, we have a chat. And it says he hasn't been studying enough these days. Excellent, Alberto. Okay, we have number 8, much you been to have and eating.
You have been eating too much.
Very good, you have been eating too much. Okay, good. Number 9, to we wearing verb, I'm sorry, learning verbs being have weeks in 4.
We have been learning verbs for 2 weeks.
Excellent. We have been learning verbs for 2 weeks. Excellent. Okay. Let me see. I think we have another exercise. Yes. And it says, write a sentence according to the image. You can either make an affirmative, negative, or question sentence. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? And let's try to make a sentence with these images that we have on the left side. De acuerdo a las imágenes que tenemos, we have to answer, what have you been doing? And you have to write it down. Vamos a escribirlo, ahora lo vamos a practicar escrito. Vamos a escribir en el chat un enunciado para una de esas imágenes. What have you been doing?
Que tienes que hacer una oración aquí con esas imágenes. Ay, sorry.
Exactly. According to these images, what have you been doing? But let's write it down on the chat. Vamos a escribirlo en el chat. Each of us has to provide with a sentence. Cada uno vamos a poner una. Okay, Stefano says, I have been reading for the last 4 hours. Excellent, Stefano. Very good. And you have used the auxiliary have. Very good. The past participle of the verb being, which is been. Very good. And the main verb ending in ing. Good. And also the frame, the time frame with using for the last 4 hours. I have been reading for the last 4 hours. Excellent, Stefano. So who else? Come on, another one. Ah, it says it's Miriam. Who's next? It says, she says, I have been cooking since the morning. Okay, since the morning or since this morning, right? Just to specify that it was this morning and not the morning in, I don't know, in last week. I don't know. Okay, so I have been cooking since this morning. Pretty good. Emmanuel says, I have been driving for 3 hours. Excellent. Good. Alan says, he has been Very good. Using the concordance with the person he, with the superhero he. He has been cooking after go run. Very good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Después de haber ido a correr. Okay, it's good enough. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. Yeah, so we are okay. So we are missing a couple of us. We are missing Alberto and we are missing Paul. So Alberto and Paul, could you please provide us with a sentence using the present perfect continuous accordingly to the image that we have on our left in the screen? $50. Okay. Paul says, she hasn't been sleeping. This is tricky. This is the raro. Is it a question? Paul, is it a question?
No, sorry.
Without the question mark? Okay.
Se me fue el signo.
Okay, good. She hasn't been sleeping. Lo vamos a dejar así. No ha estado durmiendo. We're going to take out the later and the question mark. Okay. She hasn't been sleeping. No ha estado durmiendo. And we can infer that it's lately. Okay. Or she hasn't been sleeping lately. Okay. Últimamente, lately, instead of later. Good. Very good, Paul. So we're just missing Alberto's sentence. Please, Alberto, don't be shy. Alberto says, they have been alcoholic for 3 years. This is interesting. They have been alcoholic for 3 years. Although it is correct, aunque está correcto, okay, porque ellos han estado siendo alcohólicos. Okay, let me think. She hasn't been sleeping. I think we're missing the verb. And we can say they have been alcoholic. Suena raro, pero han estado siendo. They have been being. Okay, han estado siendo alcohólicos por 3 años. We were just missing the verb be. Okay, and in this case, it is funny because we have the verb be in past participle. Tenemos el verbo ser o estar, el verbo be en pasado participio porque lo necesitamos para el presente perfecto continuo. Y además, el verbo que es estar, ellos han estado siendo, ¿ok? Volvemos a repetir el verbo be porque es el verbo principal, el estar o el ser alcohólico, ¿no? So, we have to repeat again the verb, but the verb to be or the verb be, but now in ing ending, in continuous, in participle, okay? So we have to say they have been, which is the present perfect, being continuous alcoholic. Ellos han estado siendo alcohólicos. Very good. So this was a good example because we had to think. Tenemos que pensar para ver si estaba correcto. So it was a very good example. Excellent. So problems with the past participle? I'm sorry, with the present perfect continuous. No questions? So.
No question.
So let's continue with present perfect continuous. Okay, so we have this conversation. Okay, so let me. Okay, let me reorder this. So we have this other practice. Tenemos esta otra práctica. And we will need, and we will need 2 volunteers to read this conversation. So we need a Dave and we need an Anne. Okay, it is a conversation between 2 friends, and they haven't seen each other for quite a long time. No se han visto desde hace un rato, and they run into the supermarket. Se encontraron, run into, en el supermercado, ¿sí? Y they start talking about what have happened on their lives, de lo que es lo que ha sucedido en sus vidas. So we need 2 volunteers to read Dave and another volunteer to read Anne. So who wants to be Dave and who wants to be Anne? A volunteer to read Dave. Okay, we have the chats. Victims. Okay, people say victims. So I'm going to choose Emmanuel to be Dave and Stefano to be Anne. Oh. So Emmanuel and Stefano, could you please help us to read?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Is that you?
Dave, what a
Um,
surprise. I haven't seen you since the reunion, like 4 years ago.
Has it been for 4 years, man? Time flies. So, what have you been doing these days?
Nothing exciting. Recently, I've just been working and trying to save money for a new car. I have been having lots of trouble with my car, so I have been saving every dollar I can. It's been talk.
Yeah, I know. How it's going? Keep trying to.
Thanks, I will. So, what about you? What have you been up to?
Actually, I have been doing well. I recently got a new job and I got engaged. I am getting married this April.
Wow, I never pictured you as the married type. Congrats to the lucky girl. So, have you been dating?
Rosa, you remember her? She went to high school with us.
I do remember her, Rosa. Wow. So, how long you been going out?
About 3 years. We have been living together for 2.
Wow, what a surprise. That's great. I'm so happy for you.
Excellent, very good. But we need another 2 victims. So let me pick up 2 more. So would be, what about you, Alan, as a first victim? And what about you? Who went? My God. Who's the one who went to pick up or pick out the trash?
Me, bro. Esteban.
Okay, go ahead and
Thank
pick
you.
out the trash. So, Alan, you'll be Dave, and what about you, Miriam? Is it possible that you can help us doing Anne?
I am Dave.
You are Dave, and Miriam will play the role as Anne. Is it that okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So you
Annie,
can
is
start.
that you? Annie, is that you? Annie. Annie,
Anne,
is that okay? Bye. Annie.
we cannot hear you.
Ah, tenía problemas con el micrófono desde la clase pasada.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, we'll be next time. Thank you, Miriam. So what about you, Alberto? Could you help us to do Anne?
Got it.
Good.
Annie, is that you?
Zay, what a surprise. I haven't seen you since the reunion, like for like 4 years ago.
Has it been 4 years, man? Time flies. So, what have you been doing these days?
Nothing exciting. Recently, I have just been working and trying to save the money for a new car. I've been having a lot of trouble for my car, and so I've been saving the very dollar I can. It's been enough.
Yeah, I know who it was. Ghost. Sorry. Keep trying though.
Thanks, I will. So, what about you? What have you been up to?
Actually, I've been doing well. I recently got a new job, and I go and how do you pronounce?
Engage.
Okay, engage. I am getting married this April. Actually, April.
Wow, I never pictured you have a married type. Congrats to the look girl. So, who have who have you been dating?
Rosa, you remember her? She went to high school with us.
I do remember her, Rosa. Wow. So how long you been going out?
About 3 years. He've been living together for 2.
Wow, what surprise. That's great. I'm so happy for you.
Excellent. Good. Bravo. Let me react. Applauses. Good. Okay. Problems with vocabulary, pronunciation, meanings. Any word that we don't understand or the context of the word. No problems? Okay, let me ask you, what is it the meaning or of, I'm sorry, of tough and though? It's been tough, dove. What is it that meaning? What does it mean? That something is tough. Okay, we have a chat. Very good. It is difícil. Okay, it is difícil. It's been difficult. It's been hard. It's been tough. Es como, es difícil. Okay, and tough es como, podríamos ponerle como, aunque. Ajá, exactly, como un aunque, ¿no? Aunque es difícil, aunque ha sido difícil, ¿no? Por ejemplo, cuando a veces a veces yo les digo eso, though, así como que, no estuvo perfecto, pero estuvo bien, ¿no? Aunque estuvo bien, no estuvo perfecto, pero estuvo bien, though, ¿ok? Es como, good try, o es buen intento, aunque no fue exactamente correcto, pero bien, okay, good, though. Okay, we usually pronounce it when we have at the end, GH, we usually pronounce it as an F. And when we have TH, we usually pronounce it as a D. So that will be tough and though, okay? What else? What else? What other word do we have here? Let me see. What's the meaning of this expression? What have you been up to? El be up to, being up to, what does it mean? What about you? What have you been up to?
Podría interpretarse como un ¿qué tal? O ¿cómo estás? Por así decirlo.
Puede interpretarse como un ¿qué tal? Como un ¿qué has estado haciendo? Es más bien como un ¿qué has estado haciendo? ¿No? ¿En qué has estado? ¿No? A veces decimos, hey, ¿qué onda? ¿En qué has estado? ¿Qué has estado haciendo? ¿No? So, what about you? ¿Y qué tal tú? ¿Qué has estado haciendo? ¿No? Es como, ponme al día. ¿Qué has estado haciendo? Been up to. What have you been up to? Okay, good. What about this other expression? I never pictured you. And we're using the word picture. I've never pictured you as a married type.
Nunca me hubiera imaginado.
Exactly, como nunca me hubiera imaginado, nunca te imaginé, okay? No es como que te fotografié, ¿verdad? We're not talking about a picture as it is. We are talking about, I never could have imagined that you were, or that you as a married type, okay? Nunca me imaginé, nunca te hubiera imaginado, okay? Good, excellent. Very, very good. So let's try now to identify all of the present perfect continuous, clear my drawings, all the present perfect continuous statements or sentences. Okay, let's do both. Present perfect and present perfect continuous tenses. Both present perfect and present perfect continuous. Let's try to identify them. We're going to, in pink.
Entonces tenemos que identificarlos.
Ajá.
Okay. And the third line, and has it been your 5 years?
Has,
in the question and type.
okay, has
This
it been
kind.
4 years? And what's that? Present perfect or present perfect continuous?
continuous?
Why? Why present perfect continuous? I would say it's more like a present perfect, right? Because we do have the verb, the auxiliary have, in this case, has, and we have the past participle of the verb be, right? But we don't have the continuous part. No tenemos el verbo en ing. Sí, acuérdense que el presente perfecto es ese pasado que empezó en el pasado y allá se quedó en el pasado, ¿ok? Y para el presente perfecto, para el present perfect, we only use the auxiliary have plus the verb in past participle, and that's it. And for the present perfect continuous, we use the verb, the auxiliary have, the verb be in past participle, which is being, plus the main verb in ing, okay? So this would be a present perfect, okay? It has been 4 years. Fue hace 4 años, okay? And it is in the present perfect. I mean, in the past, very, very in the past. So it is a present perfect. So which other one it is on present perfect or present perfect continuous?
A present perfect continuous in that line. It's so what have you been doing these days?
Very good. Excellent. So this is in present perfect continuous because we have auxiliary have, we have the verb be in past participle, and of course we have the main verb in ing. Very good. What have you been doing these days? Okay, ¿qué has estado haciendo estos días? Sí, es in present perfect continuous. Excellent. What other?
Recently, I've just been working and trying to save money for a new car.
Okay, and that's present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Present perfect continuous.
Very good. Because we have the auxiliary have, the verb be in past participle, and the ing in the main verb. Excellent. Another one.
I have been having lots of trouble with my car.
Excellent. And that's a present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Present perfect continuous.
Excellent. Okay, next one.
I've been saving every dollar.
Okay, and that's present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Continuous.
Very good. I've been saving every dollar. Very good.
Another one?
Another one. Yeah, we have to identify all of them. So whoever wants to participate, go ahead.
Dog. Dog?
Okay, very good. It's been tough though. It's a present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Present perfect.
Present perfect. Very good. And we can identify the has, which is the contraction. That's why we have here apostrophe s, and the verb in past participle. It has been tough though. Okay, very good. Next one. So next one.
Another is what have you been up to?
Very good. And that's a present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Present perfect.
Present perfect. Very good. What have you been up to? Very good. Because we have our auxiliary have and the verb being. Very good. Next one.
I've did you, I've been doing well.
Mhm. Present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Continues.
Very well. I have been and doing. Good. Next one.
Who have you been dating?
And that's a present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Continuous.
Excellent. And we can identify the auxiliary have, the verb to be in participle, and the main verb in continuous.
Creo que esa no era. Aunque
Ah,
pero la que
ah,
decía
sí,
Estefano era con A.
okay. Well, bueno, ya me levanté una.
Esa tampoco.
Ah, eso tampoco.
Otra arriba, no.
No.
Oh my God. Parece que ya quiero terminar, ¿va? So who have you
Eso.
been dating? Y todas esas efectivamente son continuous because we have the auxiliary have, the verb to be in participle, and the main verb in ing. In all of them. Oh my God. Ay, me adelanté mucho. So how long you've been going out? Y vemos el, ay, mira, aquí no tiene el auxiliary. Pero anyway, could work as a present perfect continuous because we have the auxiliary be and the ing. And we have this one, but it's missing one. It's missing one. It's missing one statement. Nos falta uno. Dun, dun, dun. Who can identify the last one?
And I haven't seen you sign.
Very good. I haven't seen you since the reunion, right? Okay, and it's present perfect, of course, because we are using the auxiliary have and just the main verb in past participle, right? Very good. So let me read it. Let me read all the complete conversation and pay attention because we have some questions to answer. Okay. It says Dave, Anne, is that you? Dave, what a surprise. I haven't seen you since the reunion, like 4 years ago. Has it been 4 years? Man, time flies. So, what have you been doing these days? Nothing exciting. Recently, I've just been working and trying to save money for a new car. I have been having lots of trouble with my car. So, I've been saving every dollar I can. It's been tough though. Yeah, I know how it goes. Keep trying though. Thanks, I will. So, what about you? What have you been up to? Actually, I've been doing well. Recently, I recently got a new job and I got engaged. I'm getting married this April. Wow. I never pictured you as a married type. Congrats to the lucky girl. So, who have you been dating? Rosa. You remember her. She went to high school with us. I do remember Rosa. I do remember her, Rosa. Wow. So how long you been going out? About 3 years. We've been living together for 2. Wow. What a surprise. That's great. I'm so happy for you. Okay, good. So let's go to the questions. Y vámonos con las preguntas ahora. Do we need to read it again or we do o ya le agarramos todos de qué se trató la lectura? Should we read it again or are we good? Very good. Okay, let's go to the questions then. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. When was the last time they saw each other? When was the last time they saw each other?
$4 years ago.
4 years ago, since what? 4 years ago, says Alberto as well. What happened in that time? Back in that time, what happened?
Since the reunion.
Since the reunion, right? Very good, Alan. Number 2, what does she want? What does she want to do? What does Anne want to do? What does Anne want to do? Do you remember?
Try and save money. No?
Trying to save money for what?
For a new car.
Excellent, for a new car. Alberto says working to buy a new car. Very good. So she wants to buy a new car by saving every dollar, right? Very good. What has changed in Dave's life? He got engaged, says Stefano. Very good. What else? Married with Rose. Well, he will be married with Rose. Very good. He got a new job. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So next question. Does woman know Rosa? Does Anne know Rosa? Yes, why?
They are partner?
They were classmates, right? Eran compañeros. They were classmates at high school. Very good. Very good, Emmanuel. For how long they have been dating? Rosa and Dave. For how long they have been dating? for 3 years. Excellent. Oh my God, you did excellent. Let me react. I love reactions. Applauses. You did excellent. Okay, good. So, okay, it is 11:30. We have another. We have another. We have another. I don't know. You're so intelligent. Okay, let's skip the class now. Okay, let's finish our class here. Vamos a terminar nuestra clase aquí. Do you have any questions or problems with the present perfect continuous?
No.
No? Are we okay?
No.
Yeah.
Are we okay if we finish the class here, or do you want to practice anymore? Oh, we need to practice some more because we have someone joining and we're about to go. Okay. Okay, let's continue then. And let's just close the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. Okay. Okay. Let me just mute it. Let's mute. Good. Okay. Let me present then, and then this is the final part, I promise. So we're going to see, we're going to review the differences between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous as a theoretically point of view, as a theoretical point of view. Okay. So we use the present perfect for actions that happen in the past, but are important in the present. Okay. And the present perfect continuous, we use it for actions that has started in the past, but are still ongoing in the present. Okay, so this is the main difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. Both of them started in the past, but one of them, the present perfect, stays in the past. Se quedó en el pasado, el presente perfecto. Okay, y se quedó en el pasado, and that's it. And the present perfect continuous inició igual en el pasado, but it's still valid in the present. To form the present perfect, we use the auxiliary have in present, and we have already said that for the superheroes, okay, who are the superheroes? Do you remember who are the superheroes?
The two person?
Very good, the third persons, right? Which is the he, the she, and the it. These are the superheroes. So we use the form has. Okay, so we use has. And for the rest of the people, for the rest of the subjects, which is I, you, we, and they, we use have. Okay, so to form the present perfect, we use the auxiliary have in present, or has, if it's a superhero, plus the past participle of the main verb. Okay, and to form the present perfect continuous, we use the auxiliary have in present plus the past participle of the verb be, which is been, plus the main verb ending in ing. Okay, so the difference in the building, in building the sentence, it is that we have to use been plus the ing. Okay, la diferencia para formarlos, para construirlo, es que además del have, en los dos vamos a utilizar el have. Y en el presente perfecto continuo utilizamos el been más el verbo en terminación ing. Okay. Also, the present perfect, when the action happened, it is not important. The important is that has happened. So we don't use specific time expressions such as this morning, yesterday, last year, etc. Right? In present perfect, we use non-specific time expressions such as never, ever, many times, for, since, already, and yet. Entonces, en el presente perfecto no utilizamos una fecha exacta de cuándo sucedió, porque no nos interesa. We don't really care about when the action happened. We just care about the action indeed. Solamente nos interesa que la acción se haya realizado. So we don't use exact times as yesterday or last year or this morning. We use instead never, como nunca, alguna vez, algunas veces, desde o por, okay? And in the present perfect continuous, we only use for and since just to frame it, okay? Utilizamos solamente el por y el since solamente para darle un marco en el tiempo, okay? For 3 years, since 2003, since last month, etc., right? But we don't say it, or if we skip that part, si nosotros nos comemos la parte del for y el since, we usually refer to lately, okay? Nosotros normalmente lo referimos como últimamente. Lately, Orjo has been working at the bank lately, right? But we don't specify when. Okay, so when we don't specify when, we can infer that it's lately. Okay. So let's go for the next one. Due to the reason present perfect, it's not specific, we use it to describe an experience, como el presente perfecto no es muy específico, so we use it to express, or we use it to describe an experience which is not a specific action. We use it as well for a change during the time. We use it for achievements, as we did in the yesterday's presentation, right? So we use it for actions that have not yet happened, okay, or actions that have started in the past and continue to the present, para acciones que también han empezado en el pasado, pero que no necesariamente, o que pueden seguir todavía hasta este momento, okay?
Teacher,
Ajá.
she's gone. Let's go.
She's gone. Oh my gosh. We were about to leave and then nos cayó la... Man. Okay, just let me finish it. Just let me check how many. Oh, okay. We have. Okay, let's do this exercise and then we go. Okay. Spot the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. So we have these 5 sentences, and we have to decide if it's present perfect or present perfect continuous. So the first one, it is, she has been writing all morning. Present perfect or present perfect continuous?
Continues.
Continuous.
Very good, present perfect continuous. Second one, she has written 6 letters this morning.
Present.
Present what?
PP.
Oh, come on.
Present perfect.
Okay, yeah, present perfect, very good. Okay, number 3, we have been having a great time. Present perfect or present perfect continuous?
PPC.
EPC.
PPC, very good. Next one, your voice sounds strange. Have you been drinking?
PPC.
PPC, very good. I have been trying to call her all day long.
PPC.
PPC.
PPC, very good. All right, so let's go now. Okay, I think we can dismiss the class if we have already understand the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. So do you have any question? No questions? Okay, very good. So let's go and have a nice weekend. Please enjoy your weekend. And what else? Just enjoy your weekend. I don't know how to react. No. Ay, no lo sé. Ya no sé dónde quedan las reacciones. Okay, good. Well, here today. Okay, let's go then and let's have a very pleasant weekend. Thank you very much for joining and see you on Monday. Bye-bye.